name is James. I'm instructor here. Welcome to Belins Driving School. I want to take you through the introduction on the model townboard. In these two lessons, we look at three topics. These three topics are not very wide, and therefore everybody will be able to master everything at the time when we will be going for a test, you'll be able to do well. So I want to start. We have a model townboard. We also have road signs and general information. So I want to start with the model townboard. The whole of this is called a model townboard. Model townboard is an example of road networks in Kenya drawn on a board, and even within East Africa. Or you can say it is a representation of road networks in Kenya and within East Africa drawn on a board. So anything you see here represent what is in the actual ground. Okay? So this model townboard has features. Features are the things that you can see. You can call them features or components. This is what makes it to be a model townboard, whether it is a color, drawings, or design. Everything here represents what is in the actual ground. There's nothing like decoration here. Everything represents what is in the actual ground. So I want to start with this one. The whole of this one is called roundabout. Roundabout is a form of a junction where roads enter in and out. You can see this one is an extension of this road. This is an extension of this road. This one is an extension of this road. And this one is an extension of this road. So meaning that the road has entered inside the roundabout and out. You can also say that roundabout is a form of a junction where vehicles meet without collision or without colliding. For example, there are four vehicles from this road, three from this road, 4 from here, and 3 from here. All of them meet within the roundabout and they don't collide. Then roundabout also has what? Features or components. Are we together? So we have lanes or spaces within the roundabout. And there are 4 in number. Counting begins from the outermost to the innermost, or from the left to the right, or from the yellow painted curves. So this one becomes our lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, or the innermost lane. So a lane is a path followed by the motor vehicle. Or you can say a lane is a space in between the lines. We also have white broken lines within the roundabout. White broken lines or white dotted lines within the roundabout. These white broken lines has 2 functions. They enable you to access the roundabout. You are able to access because of the white broken lines. Number 2, they enable you also to cross. Because if you are in lane 4, for example, you'll cross up to the innermost lane. What makes you to cross is the white broken lines. We also have this one is called no man's land or roundabout island. This no man's land, this is where you will find that you can find out that there is some there's traffic light. In any case, it is a controlled roundabout. You might find that there is a city clock here, because it is a no man's land. It does not belong to anybody. Here, if you put your advertisement, it will be seen by so many people. And it has 2 major functions. Function number 1, it controls the movement of traffic in different directions. This no man's land. For example, these 4 vehicles are in the same lane. They are in the same lane. These 4 vehicles are in the same lane. There's a possibility that these 4 vehicles can go the same direction. But they can as well go different direction, being controlled by the no man's land. So this one can decide to go this way. This one decides to go this way. And this one decides to go this way. And this one decides to go this way. So the four vehicles have come from the same lane, but they are moved to different directions, being controlled by the no man's land. Then number two, it also determines the size of the roundabout. It determines the size of the roundabout. The larger the no man's land, the larger the roundabout. The smaller the no man's land, the smaller the roundabout. And therefore, we have three types of roundabout according to their sizes. We have mean, which is the little bit smaller. Then we have ordinary, then enormous. Meaning that enormous is the largest roundabout, followed by ordinary, then mean. Somebody may ask you the largest roundabout in East and Central Africa. It is very simple. It is Global Cinema in Nairobi, Kenya. It's the largest roundabout in East and Central Africa. So roundabout has got rules that a learner must, or a student must know, or a road user must know, who is handling, if you want to handle yourself on this road. There are some rules that you must follow, you must adhere to. Okay? These rules, there are 6 in number, and they are somehow related. So I normally categorize them into 3 categories. So category number 1, which bears 3 rules. No stopping, no parking, no waiting within the roundabout. No stopping, no parking, no waiting. Let us all say no stopping, no parking, no waiting. That's category 1, but with 3 rules. Then category number 2, no changing of lanes, no overtaking. Everybody?
No changing of lanes, no overtaking.
Yes, category number 2, but has 2 rules. For example, changing of lanes means that if you are here within the white broken line, you are allowed to change lane. So changing lane, you shift from one lane to another. That's what we mean by changing of lanes. You cannot do that within the roundabout. Then finally, no reversing. So I've said no stopping, no parking, no waiting, no changing of lanes, no overtaking, no reversing. That is all about the roundabout. Let us now move to another thing like this one and this one are called road reserves or side pavement. Road reserve is meant for expansion or extension of the road in future. So why color green? Because I said everything that exists in this water townboard represents what is the actual grass. Color green represents what? Vegetation, isn't it? So you may find that at the road reserves there are trees, there are grasses, there's flowers. So those are falling under vegetation, isn't it? So it means that road is bordered by vegetation or surrounded by vegetation. That road is called an avenue. You may also find out that at the road reserves, some buildings have been built on those road reserves. It means that road is surrounded by buildings. They can be temporary structures or permanent structures. When it comes to the expansion of the road, they will be brought down. So that road is called a street. So that question is very common. They may ask you the difference between an avenue and a street. It's very simple. An avenue is a road bordered by vegetation, while a street is a road bordered by buildings. Then this one is called central pavement. Central pavement. Central pavement is just a boundary. That's separate one way from another one way. Just a boundary. You can see it's all painted green. It means that you can find out that at that central pavement, you can find plant sunflowers and trees. But normally they normally like to build some wall, construct some wall. Okay? Then at this end of pavement, you gonna what these openings. These openings are called exit from the main road. Exit from the main road. Exits are shortcuts. And these exits, we are only allowed to use exit when there is no option of making a U-turn within the roundabout. U-turn is this one. Making a U-turn is this way. When you don't have any option of making a U-turn within the roundabout, we are allowed to use exit. In other words, we only use exit when the roundabout is not clear. But when the roundabout is clear, we can never use exit. So we have two exits. There's the lower part and the upper part. A vehicle coming from this section, there's another vehicle coming from this section. This one cannot use this exit because you can see this arrow and you can also see this arrow. So it means that this one can only use this, it can use this exit because this is an exit from this road. This vehicle will use this exit because this is an exit from this road. The next thing we have a stop sign in this model townboard is represented by a white continuous line. This one is a stop sign. This one is also a stop sign, where you are supposed to stop and give priority for oncoming and overcoming traffic. Give priority for oncoming and overcoming traffic. Remember, your safety is paramount, and the safety of those whom you are carrying, and the safety of other road users. You want to either turn right or turn left. In other words, you are going to join another road. You have to check if the road is clear. By the time you are checking, you stop. If there is oncoming vehicle and overcoming vehicle, you give them priority. Meaning that you are waiting for the road to be clear by giving them priority. This one can decide to go this way, or this one goes this way. It's when you are allowed now to cross this way, or you turn left. Are we together? The same applies to this section. Is also a stop sign. We also have giveaway sign in this model townboard. Giveaway sign is presented on a model townboard by the use of white, broken, or white dotted lines, where you are supposed to slow down and give priority for overcoming traffic. For example, this one is an example of a giveaway sign. If you are there, there's a vehicle coming from this direction. All vehicles coming from front, they have their own road is here. Are we together? And in the middle there's a boundary. So you only concerned about the vehicle coming from your right or from your behind. So you have to slow down and give priority. You don't stop, but you slow down, give priority for overcoming traffic. This one, to pass fast, is when you join this immediately. Are we together? The same applies when you are now coming out from parking. You are pulling out from parking. You have to slow down and give priority for that vehicle. To pass fast is when you either go right or turn left. The same, this one is also another giveaway sign. There's also another giveaway sign when you are approaching roundabout. When you are approaching roundabout, remember there is a vehicle that is coming from your right hand side. That vehicle coming from your right hand side has a right over you. So you slow down and give priority for the vehicle coming from your right. Here you have two options. This vehicle has two options. You can either turn left or go straight. So whichever way, you have to give priority first before you join the roundabout. Then you have, these ones are called direction showing arrows. Direction showing arrows. Direction showing arrows, they just show you the direction in which the road is headed to. so that you may not get lost. These arrows also help us or help you to answer questions on this model townboard. For example, if you come to this lane 1 in this major road, you find that it has two arrows. There's an arrow that is turning left and an arrow that is going straight. So you cannot go this way because this arrow shows that you go straight or you turn left. So these arrows will help you to answer questions here. And when you are now on the actual road, you don't get lost. Okay? We have these ones are called yellow painted curves. Yellow painted curves. In these yellow painted curves, you are not supposed to stop, park, or wait in some places. No stopping, no parking, no waiting in some places in these yellow painted curves. Then we also have one-way traffic road and two-way traffic road. Another two-way traffic road is also here. One-way traffic road is called one-way because all vehicles are headed toward the same direction or are meeting toward the same direction. Are you together? So you can also call it one carriageway. You can call it four-lane motorway. You can call it major road. When it comes to one-way traffic road minor, this is my one-way traffic road. This is one-way traffic road major. This is one-way traffic road minor. Major has 4 lanes. Minor has 3 lanes. This one you can also call it 3-lane motorway. So how do we count lanes? We begin counting lanes from the left to the right, or from the outermost to the innermost, or from the yellow painted cars. So this is now lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. One-way traffic road major. If you come to this section, this is now our lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. One-way traffic road major. When it's come to this section, this is now lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. One-way traffic road major. When you come to this one, this section, this is our lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4. One-way traffic road major. When it comes to one-way traffic road minor, it has 3 lanes. The difference in number of lanes. This is our lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. This is our lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. Lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. Right? So, all vehicles moving on a one-way traffic road are known as overcoming traffic because all of them are coming from behind or they are going to the same direction. One-way traffic road is divided by the use of white broken line and white continuous lines. A line is a mark on the road that tracks the lanes or it separates the lane. So white broken or white continuous line, you only find it on a one-way traffic road. So within white broken line, you are allowed to change lane and also to overtake. If you are here, you can shift lanes, you can shift lanes, you can shift lanes, you can shift lanes. While you are within white broken line, you can also overtake. You can also overtake. You can also overtake. But while you are within white continuous line, no shifting of lanes, no overtaking. So if you intend of changing lanes, then you must do it within white broken lines. So when it comes to, we have this one here is a two-way traffic road. Another two-way traffic road is also here. On a two-way traffic road, vehicles are meeting towards opposite directions. They move in opposite directions. For example, this one is moving this way and this one is moving this way. So they move in opposite directions. One way, this is now called two-way traffic road. In this two-way traffic road, we have these ones are called pedestrian crossing. Pedestrian crossing is a special place or a special path designated for pedestrians to cross the road safely. We have controlled pedestrian crossing and uncontrolled pedestrian crossing. Control is whereby you have traffic lights, and control there is no traffic lights. So here you will have to slow down and stop and give priority for pedestrians. To cross fast is when you proceed with your journey. Are we together? So two-way traffic road is divided by the use of yellow continuous or yellow broken line. This yellow line also acts as a boundary that separates the two roads. Are we together? Yes. On a yellow continuous line, you are not allowed to overtake. But on a yellow, you overtake or cross. But on a yellow broken line, you are allowed to overtake or cross. Only when the road is clear. You cannot just overtake because you are within the yellow broken line. You only overtake when the road is clear, and you always overtake from the left. Although there are some occasions where you can overtake from the right. Overtaking normally takes place from the right. But there are some occasions that you can make us overtake from the right, from the left. When when ordered by a uniformed police officer, you can overtake from the left. When the vehicle is in front of you turning right, you can overtake from the left if there is space to the left. When there is an accident and the only space is to the left, you can overtake from the left. We also overtake from the left on a one-way traffic road, because all the vehicles are moving towards the same direction. Then you also have parkings. In this model townboard, we have this parking zone and this parking zone. This parking, you can see it is a little bit more organized. You can see it's enclosed in a way. Then it has two sections of parking. In between there is a road that is usable when there is no any other option. Are we together? Yes. You can see that's an entrance and exit. So this one is called controlled parking zone. This is uncontrolled parking zone. They have other names, and those names describe the nature of this parking zone. So this one is also called secure parking. This is insecure parking. It's also called amble parking. It's also called angle parking. This one is also called general parking, flash parking, or insecure parking. So because this parking zone is being controlled, it means that you cannot park the way you want, the way you like. You cannot park anywhere and anyhow. So it has rules that must be followed. Rule number one, we only park saloon cars. Are we together? We only park saloon cars. That's rule number one. Rule number two, you can see it as an exit, entrance and exit. Okay? When you want to park on this side, this is your entrance. This is your entrance. Now this is your exit. So rule number two, you should not use your entrance as your exit. Are we together? Yes. That's rule number two. Rule number three, you park to the far left or to the far end. Why? To give room for others who may also want to park in this parking zone. If any case you park here, if any case you come and park here, it means that there's nobody who will park on this side again. This parking section is full. So you will pay for all those spaces, hours in which you want to park there. Because it means that you don't want another vehicle to be next to your vehicle. So if you want to park on this side, this is your entrance. You park to the far left, then this is your exit. Rule number three, you park using forward gear. That's also common sense. Because if you park using reverse gear, this one is a road, there are vehicles parked on this side, will be causing what you call obstruction. Or you will be knocking the vehicle that are parked on this side. And that's a traffic offense. So you park using forward gear. Then the last rule, when you are pulling out, you pull out using reverse gear, then you stop, you engage forward gear, then you slow down, you indicate left or right, then you turn, you turn. That is all about controlled parking. Let us now come to this one. This one is called flash parking, uncontrolled, insecure parking, general parking. Here we park all kinds of vehicles except trailers and tractors. Why? Because they occupy more space. So the question is, where are they supposed to park? They're supposed to park in the road reserve. So here, you park at your own risk because it's not secure. You can see it's next to the road. But it also have some rules. First of all, if you're coming from this area, this side, you park to the far end, also to give room for others. But you park using reverse gear. So you come this way, then you use the reverse gear to park. When you're pulling out, you pull out using forward gear. When you're coming from this section, you come this way, then you park using reverse gear. When you're pulling out, you use forward gear. Then finally, let us look at the rules of the model townboard. We have 3 rules of the model townboard. Those 3 rules, anytime you are given a question here, you have to apply those rules. The question, normally the common question is, you can be given to a vehicle, 2 vehicles on the model townboard, then you are told, drive this vehicle behind or in front. So in that case, you have to apply the rules of the model townboard. Rule number 1, use the shortest and the most correct route without using parking. Rule number 2, use the longest and the most correct route without using parking. Rule number 3, use parking as the only option. For instance, I want to demonstrate. For example, you are told, this is vehicle A, this is vehicle B. Drive vehicle A behind vehicle B. The shortest, maybe it is here. The shortest and the most correct route, because the shortest route you can use exit and it's not most correct. Because you're using exit when the roundabout is clear. So the shortest and the most correct route, you come and you enter through the roundabout, then you make a U-turn. That's the shortest and the most correct route. The longest and most correct route, you come this way, then instead of using U-turn, now you use what? O-turn. Then you change lanes, you come this way, you come this way, you come this way, you're in immediate lane, then you change lanes, come this way, then you make a U-turn again. This is the longest and the most correct route. You can as well use parking. You can as well use parking. Remember, we use all parking when there is no any other option. Use parking. Go this way. Come to minor road. Go this way. If those were 3 people who asked the same question, all of them have combined one is correct. The one who has used the shortest and the most correct So you must adhere to that. Now let us move to options. This lane has got options. First, industrial lane. It has two options. S, L. S stands for straight. L stands for L turn to the left. Are we together? So, it has two options. S, L. S going straight. So, remember, this lane here has their corresponding lanes within the roundabout. So, when you come from lane 1, you come to lane 1 within the roundabout, then you maintain it because there's no changing of lanes, no overtaking within the roundabout, then you go straight. That's the first option. The second option is L turn to the left. So, you make L turn to the left. So, turning left is the main function of the first industrial lane. Then when we come to the second lane is called filter lane. Filter lane has got only one option. But use lane 2 within the roundabout. So you move lane 2, go this way, then you go straight. The third lane is called second industrial lane. It has two options. The options of the third lane and also the first lane are the same. Still SL, straight and L turn. But L turn of the third lane is to the right. That is the difference. So you move to the third lane within the roundabout, then you go straight to the third lane. Or you move to the third lane within the roundabout, then you come here to lane 2. The question is why lane 2? Because you are moving from major to minor. Minor is less by one lane. In other words, lanes are not equal. So something has to be done. You can either create an imaginary lane from the left or from the road reserves. You start cutting from where this lane 1, lane 2. This now becomes our lane 3. This now becomes our lane 4. Or you can less 1 or you minus 1. You come from 3, you minus 1, you come here to lane 2. Then the fourth lane is called roundabout lane, U-turn lane, or the innermost lane. It has 4 options. These 4 options, we normally use a formula. Formula you will see. L, U, O, C. L turn, U turn, O turn, and complete turn. Or you can also use degrees. L turn or 90 degrees, U turn back or 180 degrees, O turn or 270 degrees, then complete turn or 360 degrees. So L turn is to the right. You make L or 90 degrees to the left, to the right. So you move to the innermost lane, then you make L turn. You come to lane 3. Remember we did something because lanes are not equal. We come from major to minor route. Lanes are not equal. You create the imaginary lane from the left. That is L turn to the right or 90 degrees. Then the second option is U turn back or 180 degrees. U turn back is this one. U turn back is this one or 180 degrees. The next option is O turn or 270 degrees. O turn to the left. You make O turn, you move to the innermost lane, then you make O turn to the left. Or 270 degrees. Remember, we are moving from major to minor. Lanes are not equal. We have to create a lane from the left. Then lastly is a complete turn. Then we go straight. Make a complete turn. Then we go straight. This road It's the same as this road. The only difference is this is for the vehicles that are moving on that side. These are for the vehicles that are moving on this side. Are we together? So the only difference is lanes are in the opposite. So options are also in the opposite. But whatever you do here is the same thing you do here. Let us try and see. So this one is the first lane. The first lane has got two options. The first option, you go to the first lane within the roundabout, then you go straight. The second option, you make L turn to the left. This is filter lane. Filter lane has got only one option. You move to the second lane, then you go straight. The third lane has got two options. It's called second industrial lane. You move to the third lane, then you go straight, or you move to the third lane, then the roundabout, then you come here to lane 2. Then the last lane, roundabout lane, U-turn lane, or the innermost lane has got 4 options. The first one is L turn to the right, or 90 degrees. You move to the innermost lane, then you make L turn, or 190 degrees. The second option is U-turn back, or 180 degrees. U-turn back, or 180 degrees. Then the last one is complete turn, or 360 degrees. So those are the options of one-way traffic road major. Let us now come to one-way traffic road minor. Remember, when it comes to minor road is less by 1 lane. But there is a relationship between these lanes on the minor road and lanes in the major road. This is our lane 1, right? This our lane 1 is called first industrial lane. Just like this one. Are we together? It has 2 options, just like this one. S and L, just like the first lane in the major road. What does it mean? It means that this lane does the function. The first lane of the minor road does the function of the first lane on the major road. The only difference is the direction. When it comes to the second lane, it's called filter lane, just like the second lane on the major road, going straight. So it means that this second lane does the function of this lane. When it comes to this one here, it's a little bit different because minor road is less by 1 lane. So this one has got 5 options. It's called second industrial lane. In other words, this one is this lane. Why 5? Because this lane does the function of this lane. This one does the function of this lane. So this one now does the function of this lane, and this lane, that's why it does 5. It was supposed to have 6. And because even though it does the function of the both lanes, the 2 lanes, the third and the fourth lane within the major road, still it remains to be second industrial lane. So there's an option that it can't do. That was over complete turn. Complete turn, all around the whole lane has an option of over complete turn. So this one also has got a formula called an SR Luo. Remember, Luo is also in the 4th lane of the major road. You will see that it has taken the first 3 options of the 4th lane of the major road. Right together. That's why it has 5. So this one, I've said 2 options. You move to the first lane within the roundabout, then you go straight. Or you make L turn to the left. You make L turn to the, just like the first lane in the major road. You go straight, or you make L turn to the left. The second lane is filter lane. Filter lane has got only one option. You move to the second lane within the roundabout, then you go straight. When now it comes to this one, you have 5 options. 5 options. And because it does the function of both lane 3 and 4 in the major road, so the first 2 options we go through lane 3 within the roundabout. The last 3 options we use lane 4 or the innermost lane within the roundabout. Because the last 3 is the options of lane 4, the major road. The first 2 is the options of lane 3 in the major road. That's why the first 2 we use lane 3 within the roundabout. Then the last 3 we use lane 4 or the innermost lane within the roundabout. So we move to lane 3, then you go straight. That's S. Second option is right turn. R stands for right turn. You come to lane 3, then you move here to lane 3. We are remaining with 3 vehicles. Those 3 vehicles must go through the innermost lane. Are we together? So the first option is L turn on 90 degrees. You move to the innermost lane, then you make 90 degrees. Then the next option is U-turn, back 180 degrees. U-turn back 180 degrees. Then the last one is O-turn, or to 70 degrees. Remember I said it has no complete turn because even though it does the function of both lane 3 and 4 within the major road, it still remains to be the second industrial lane. This road is the same as this road. The only problem is they are opposite. So options are also opposite. Let us try and see. This is first industrial lane. 2 options. The first option, you go straight. The second option, you make L turn to the left. Filter lane, second lane is filter lane. Only one option. Move to the second lane within the roundabout. Then you go straight. Then when we come now to the third lane, it has got 5 options. The first 2, we use lane 3 within the roundabout. The last 3, we go to the innermost lane. So you move to lane 3, then you go straight to lane 3. You move to lane 3, then you make right turn to lane 3. Then the last 3 now we go through the innermost lane. We move to the innermost lane, then you make L turn or 90 degrees. Then you turn back to the adjacent lane or 180 degrees. Then finally, O turn or to 70 degrees. O turn or to 70 degrees, okay? O turn or to 70 degrees. O turn or to 70 degrees. So the main function of lane 1 on the major road is to turn left. The main function of lane 3 is to turn right. The main function of the fourth lane or the innermost lane is to make you turn. And that question very common. They may ask you the main function of the fourth lane on a 4-lane motorway. When you hear about 4-lane motorway, that is one-way traffic road major or major road. So the main function of the fourth lane on the 4-lane motorway is to make a U-turn. Any question? So we have come to the end of this lesson. there's no other question, we have come to the end of this lesson. Can you clap for yourself for listening? For the next lesson, we shall be looking at the road signs or highway signs. That's our next lesson. Road signs or the highway signs. Thank you, viewers. Make sure that you can like, subscribe, and then you share. Until next time, God bless you.